Morning. It's Saturday morning. We are back. We've just come into Molly's playhouse, and she said, "What did you call it?" It said it smells of stories. Did you say something like that? It smells of stories in here, which I think was lovely. So it smells of stories, so we better do some stories. It being Saturday morning, I'll just hold it a second because we've chalked your hair this morning. Yeah. So it can't like really sort of see it, but perhaps. We've put some red chalks in our hair. I have to do a bit of Daddy's later on. There's a kind of greeny bluey bit.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a bit of blue in here. Yeah. I don't know.
So we've done some chalking. What else have we done this morning? We're going to go out for a walk later on to look for some. We're going to look for some pebbles.
And then we're going to decorate them.
Yeah, we're going to paint some pebbles. We've got some special pens, and we've got some hot chocolates down here. Because we thought we got a few books to get through here, so I've got a salted caramel hot chocolate.
I've got like a white
berry.
You've
got white chocolate and berry.
Yeah.
So we'll try that kind of halfway through. Right, today is a bit of a special. This is our What the Ladybird Heard special. Last weekend we did What the Ladybird Heard, and Molly did all the noises of the animals. And Molly's going to continue to do all the voices of the animals. So we're going to do all of the Ladybird Heard books, all of the others. Not sure if this is the order. I think that was the next one.
Yeah, and then Holiday.
What the Ladybird Heard next was the next one.
Then Holiday.
Then Holiday. Let's do them in that order.
Holiday.
What Ladybird Heard on Holiday.
That's probably my favourite.
Yep. And then
I love the cookies.
This is the new one, isn't it? This is only a couple of weeks old, isn't it?
This is a bit scary, a tiny weeny bit.
I've not even read this one, so this one's a complete.
Well, I would say a tiny bit scary.
Okay, and we've got to help people out. You've got to find the ladybirds on each page as well. Okay, so this is a busy day because I've got to do the other parts, but you've got to do all the animals. I'm afraid.
And
I can really see the green bit in your hair now,
really?
Or blue bit. No, it's blue.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. Should we crack on? Because after this, I've got to go over to Grandpa's. Right. Okay. Here we go. I might need some of that hot chocolate in a minute. I feel a bit croaky. Lots of calls this week, so it's been. The voice is a bit croaky. So, what the Ladybird heard next, and we've met both these people, haven't we? Met both these people a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
In fact, look, there we go. This one's been signed for Emily and Molly, saying the duck or the goose, whatever it is. Oh, tis a duck, isn't it? A goose. Tis a goose, rather.
Yeah.
I know Julia and Andy did once. That's cool. Right. Okay. So you're okay doing the kind of like the animal noises and doing that as well?
Yeah.
Right. Once upon a farm lived a ladybird, and these are the things that she saw and heard. The cow in her shed, the horse in his stall, the cats who purred on the garden wall, the barn full of straw, the field full of sheep, the kennel where the dog lay fast asleep, the fish in the pond, the drake and the duck, the hive of bees and the heap of muck, the hog in his sty, the goose in her pen, and the coop which was home to the fat red hen. Right, have you spotted the ladybird?
No.
I spotted the ladybird.
Oh yeah. That is really small.
I'll help you out with that one, but you've got to find the ladybird on each page for her.
Now
the fat red hen with her thin brown legs laid lots and lots of speckled eggs. But then, oh help, oh no, oh dear, those eggs began to disappear. Each morning all the eggs had gone and the animals asked, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
"I'll find out," said the ladybird. So she flew and she saw and she heard.
That's really easy.
She saw two men in a big black van with a torch and a sack and a cunning plan. They were Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len, who'd been to jail but were out again. Said Lanky Len to Hefty Hugh, "Let's steal another egg or two."
Oh, I found that one.
But Hefty Hugh said, "Listen, Len, I vote we steal the fat red hen. We'll make our way to the chicken coop and sweep her up in one fell swoop. Just think of all those eggs she'll lay us and all the money folk will pay us." And Len replied, "We'll soon be rich. It makes my fingers start to itch."
So first that's on his ear.
Good spot.
And then
Good
on
spot.
his hat.
Oh, and he's on his hat there. Nice ladybird spotting. The little spotted ladybird told the animals what she'd heard. "Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len are planning to steal the fat red hen."
That's
Yeah, easy spot. You're on. Then the cow said,
Moo.
and the hen said,
Quack. Hiss.
said the goose,
Quack.
said the duck,
Neigh.
said the horse,
Oink.
said the dog,
Bah.
said the sheep, and
Woof.
said the dog. And the cats meowed, "Those two mad men, we can't let them steal the fat red hen." But the ladybird said, "Listen quick, I've thought of a really clever trick." At dead of night, the two bad men opened the coop and snatched the hen. But the fat red hen began to cluck. "Why don't you steal the downy duck? Her eggs are bigger far than mine, and people say they taste divine." "Good thinking that," said Lanky Len. They tiptoed to the pond, but then...
I think I spotted Ladybird on that.
Oh, did you? Oh, we forgot to do that.
On the ear, I think.
Oh, there he is there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
good spot. What helps is the fact that he's glittery in this book, although
Yeah.
probably the people at home can't see that. The downy duck began to quack. "Oh, please don't put me in your sack. Why don't you steal the goose instead? She's bigger still and better fed. Her eggs are huge and tasty too." "Good thinking that," said Hefty Hugh. Right, we spotted. Nice spotting. That's clever. Spotting the ladybird, because ladybirds have got spots on. Oh, that's exactly like the goose she drew at the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the front page. But when they tried to seize the goose, she hissed at them, "I'm not much use. Why don't you steal that great big bird, the super-duper snuggly snurd?" "What?" said Len. "And who?" said Hugh. The goose replied, "I thought you knew. She lays the biggest eggs of all. Each one looks like a rugby ball."
There's the lady.
Good spot. Is there one on this page?
I don't know.
No, maybe they count that as one big page. The duck joined in. "She's friendly too. I'm sure she'll love to live with you. She'll put an end to all your cares. You'll very soon be millionaires." "Where is this snurd?" asked Lanky Len. "Not far away," chipped in the hen. "She lives inside that big brown heap. You'll find her there. She's fast asleep." Right, have you
I
spotted
think
her?
she's there. I can't
Oh yes,
really see
yeah.
that
No,
much.
you're right.
That's
She is.
tiny.
Yeah, she is there. The two thieves laughed. "We've got it made. Let's take turns with the farmer's spade." They dug, and Len said, "Pooh, it stinks!" And Hugh said, "So do you!" And Len said, "Where's that giant bird, the super-duper snuggly snurd?" "She's rather shy," the goose replied. "She must be hiding deep inside." So they dug a tunnel nice and deep. "That's it," said Hugh. "Now in we creep." "I think we're nearly there," said Len. "The snurd will soon be ours." But then the heap collapsed and Hugh said, "Yuck, we're covered head to toe in muck." And Len complained, "There is no snurd. They just made up that giant bird."
That's easy. Look,
All right,
Ladybird.
yes. Oh yeah, no, he's nice and big there. Then the animals gathered round and all let out a deafening sound.
Neigh, moo, onk, bah, woof, woof, meow.
What a racket, what a row. The farmer woke and said, "Goodness me," and he had a word with his prize queen bee. And the bees chased after the two bad men, who never came back to the farm again. Right, where is the ladybird then?
Oh gosh. See a lot of bees.
See lots of bees. Bees. We
Oh, there.
can't move on. Yes, good spot on the tail of the pig. Then the cow said,
Moo,
and the hen said,
black. Hiss,
said the goose,
quack.
said the duck.
Not, neigh.
What word? Nor, said the horse. And
Oink,
said the hog,
bah,
said the sheep,
woof.
said the dog. And the farmer cheered and both cats purred. But the ladybird said never a word. And neither did the snuggly snurd.
There's a ladybird.
Ladybird on the farmer's hat. I think he's even spotted the fact that the ladybird's up there. Right, that was book one. Crikey, I'm going to slurp of hot chocolate.
It's hard for me to get it when
Yeah.
I'm holding the camera.
Do you want to have a little drink?
Yeah.
Have a little drink. Right. Before we start on the next one. White chocolate and berry. See what you think.
That's really good.
I put a bit of milk in as well. Is it warm enough or is it too
Yeah, it's fine.
Not too cold?
It's fine.
Right.
It's bright pink. It
Yeah.
looks really cool.
Okay. Sounds windy outside.
Very.
Really windy. Right.
That'll be very surprising if it, like a cat the trampoline cat
Yeah, no, I
was
think
over.
it was. I didn't think we knew it was going to be this windy. Right. So this next one is what the ladybird heard on holiday.
I love how they're all like different animals in each.
Oh, is this the? Yes, of course. They
Yeah,
go
these
to-
are like
they go to
tigers,
a
lions,
zoo as well, and things like
crocodiles, camels, monkeys.
that. One fine day in the middle of May, the ladybird went on holiday. She flew to the town to see the sights, the streets and the shops and the bright, bright lights. She saw the parks and the palace too. Then off she flew to visit the zoo. London Zoo. Where have you been there? You've been to the London Eye and you've been to the Shard.
Oh yeah.
You've been to both of those kind of things. Don't think we walked near to the Tower of London.
It's the big.
We need to have another trip up to London, don't we?
I thought that'd be Big Ben.
Oh,
on
we went over that on the bus as well.
Oh yeah.
Tower Bridge.
I thought on that picture there would be Big Ben or something.
And you'll have to ask Nanny what happened when Daddy went to Buckingham Palace.
Mm.
There's a story about when Daddy went to Buckingham Palace, but save that for another day. And the crocodile snapped. Oh, and it's, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to do these? If I say and the crocodile and you say the word. So and the crocodile
Snapped.
and the tiger,
Growled.
the lion
Roared.
and the monkeys,
Howled.
the elephant
Trumped.
trumped, trump,
Hump.
said the camel. That's more hump, said the camel with the great big hump. The hyena
Laughed.
and the hummingbird.
Word.
That's a
Word.
fun word, yeah. But the ladybird said never a word. There she is down there. But the ladybird saw and the ladybird heard. She saw two men she already knew. They were Lanky Len and Hefty Hugh. And she heard them chuckle, ho, ho, ho. We're gonna kidnap Monkey Joe. They're bad lads.
There's the.
And there's the ladybird on the end of the elephant's nose. Or I always think of in my brain. I always look at an elephant and I always think of munties, because if any of my old neighbours are watching, when I was growing up, the Fiona from next door, she couldn't say elephant. She always called them munties. And so I've always thought of elephants as munties. So whenever I look at elephants, I always like munty. We'll hide till there's no one else. Oh, sorry. Who was this saying? We'll hide till there's no one else about. Then we'll pick the lock and we'll get Joe out. And if we give him lots of fruit, we'll do the job and he'll get the loot. The palace isn't far at all. Monkey Joe can scale the wall. He'll find out where the queen's asleep, then tiptoe into her room he'll creep. He'll open the sack and steal the crown. We'll soon be the richest men in town. Yeah,
That's the
good
ladybird?
spot on his hat. The little spotty ladybird told all the animals what she'd heard. And the crocodile,
Snapped.
and the tiger,
Growled.
the lion,
Roared.
and the monkeys.
Howled.
The elephant,
Trumped. Trump. Hump.
said the camel with the great big hump. The hyena,
Feathered and.
no,
Oh, cried.
and the hummingbird,
Word.
And all the animals, feathered and furred, said, no, we can't let them kidnap Monkey Joe. But the ladybird had a good idea, and she whispered it into the monkey's ear.
That's easy because it said it.
Exactly, yeah. Just got to find the monkey and the monkey's ear. Then straight away, the ladybird flew to the palace and had a word with the queen's two corgis, Willow and Holly, and one said,
Gosh.
and the other said,
Golly.
and both the dogs agreed to do just what the ladybird
told them to. At dead of night, the two bad men, Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len, checked there was no one else about. Then they picked the lock and they got Joe out.
There's the Ladybird.
Yeah, good spot in the dark. They carried him off to the palace gate, gave him a sack, then lay in wait. They watched him scale the palace wall and they muttered, "Careful not to fall." Then they rubbed their hands as they saw him creeping into the room where the Queen lay sleeping. Right, where is the Ladybird? Have you spotted any Ladybird there?
I think.
Oh yeah, good spot. He's not on this page, I don't think. Oh no, he's down there.
Oh yeah.
Corgi Holly and Corgi Willow, who lay side of the Queen's soft pillow, were wide awake, and they said to Joe, "You better say this because they're corgis." You say that?
Come on, monkey, off we go.
That's it. They led the way while the Queen still slept, and they showed young Joe where their bones were kept. Then they helped the monkey fill the sack, and they wagged their tails as he carried it back.
There's the Ladybird.
Ah, good spot. Is he over here as well?
I don't know.
Yep, he's on top of the bone.
Oh yeah.
The two thieves yelled, "Hip hip hooray, but now let's make our getaway." They carried the sack to a nice quiet park where the only sound was a distant bark. They found a bench and both sat down, and Hugh said, "Time to see that crown." "I just can't wait," said Lanky Len. They opened up the sack, but then... Right, where's... Oh, Ladybird's nice and obvious on that
Yeah.
one. You should have heard their moans and groans to find the sack was full of bones. Just then a dog came bounding up, and Hugh said, "Shoo, you greedy pup!" Another dog was close behind, and then came dogs of every kind. A lurcher and a Labrador, a peak, a pug, and then more and more. Black dogs, white dogs, grey and brown. It seemed like every dog in town. They seized the bones and gnashed and gnawed, tugged and tussled, pawed and clawed, then turned upon the robbers, yelping, "How about a second helping?" The thieves took off with leaps and bounds, pursued by all the hungry hounds, while the monkey ran and the Ladybird flew, with never a stop till they reached the zoo.
That's really cute. It's got a little bow.
Yes, yeah. Used to see quite a few dogs like that, but you don't really see them anymore, do you? And there's the Ladybird, nice and obvious in that one. Then the crocodile grinned and the tiger pranced, the lion leapt and the monkeys danced. Oh no, you're supposed to be saying that, right?
Really?
No, oh, okay, yeah,
Say
you say that. So then the crocodile
Grinned,
and the tiger,
pranced,
the lion
leapt,
and the monkeys,
danced.
the elephant,
Trump, trumped, trump, trump, trump. Hooray!
said the camel with the great big hump, the hyena
Laughed,
and the hummingbird,
word.
but the ladybird said never a word.
There's the Ladybird on the
And,
ear.
oh yeah, she's on the ear of the monkey where she was before. It said, "For Willow and in memory of Holly, the Queen's corgis." All right, that's true. They really were Willow and Holly. I'm gonna have another slurp.
It doesn't matter.
No, let's say people at home won't mind. You have a little slurp of your. You want me to? I'll hold it. There you go. Okay. Right. Okay. Final book. What the Ladybird Heard at the Seaside.
This is a bit weird one.
Is it? I haven't even read this one with you. Mummy's read this one. You didn't do it.
Lanky Len had to hear to turn a bit weird.
No, it's not exactly normal in all the others. So, what the Ladybird Heard at the Seaside. As ever, this is all beautiful Lydia Monk's pictures. One July, when the sun was high, the Ladybird took to the clear blue sky. She's very easy to spot in this one.
Yeah.
She spread her wings in the summer breeze and flew over farms and fields and trees. She flew and she flew as fast as could be, till at last she came to the deep salt sea. Is there a mermaid in this one?
Yeah.
I'm guessing there is, yeah. So it's because a lot of the stories tie up, because we had the kind of like this singing mermaid the other week, didn't we? So
Yeah.
this is probably Silver
And you can
Sands
see
they've
it right
gone to. Yeah. All right, you're in charge of animal noises again. And the sea lion
Roared.
and the seagull
Shrieked.
Oh, that's a funny word.
Shrieked.
Shrieked. That is.
Shrieked.
The mermaid
Sang.
and the dolphin.
Squeaked.
The crab went
Snap.
and the shark went. Now that's a funny word. Gnash, gnash. It's kind of like that sort of noise.
Gash.
Gnash, gnash.
Nash.
The whale's grey tail made a mighty.
Splash.
The dogfish barked.
The
That's
barked.
barked. And the catfish.
Purred.
But the ladybird said never a word. But the ladybird saw and the ladybird heard. She saw two men in a camper van with swimming trunks and a cunning plan. They were Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len, up to their wicked ways again. Said Lanky Len to Hefty Hugh, I tell you what we're going to do. We'll lie in wait till it's 12 o'clock. Then out we'll swim to the mermaid's rock. The mermaid's hair is very long. She combs it while she sings her song. But when it's night and she's fast asleep, then tiptoe onto her rock we'll creep. And snip, 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 we'll cut that hair, so very long and very fair. You're right.
That's a bit weird.
That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird. But we all need haircuts at this moment in time. Said Hefty Hugh to Lanky Len, we'll make a lovely wig and then we'll sell it to a famous star. What brilliant brainy blokes we are. The mermaid's hair will soon grow back, enough to fill another sack. We'll keep on doing it forever. We've hit on something really clever. The little spotty ladybird, who hardly ever spoke a word, told the animals what she'd heard. Then the sea lion
Yeah, roared.
and the seagull
Shrieked.
Sorry, yeah. The mermaid
Wailed.
and the dolphin.
Squeaked.
The crab went
Snap.
and the shark went. That's that funny
Nash.
word again, Nash. The whale's grey tail made a mighty.
Splash.
And the fish declared, that wicked pair, we can't let them steal the mermaid's hair. But the ladybird had a good idea, and she whispered it into every ear.
That's easy.
Oh, we haven't been
Sorry.
spotted ladybird, but yeah, no, they've been a bit more obvious in this one, haven't they? There she is there. Then the seagull gave a joyful...
Shriek.
And he fetched some seaweed in his beak, and as the sky was turning red, he dropped it onto the sea lion's head. Then as the sky was turning black, the sea lion climbed on the whale's humped back. I can see what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
The clock struck 12, and the two bad men, Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len, flip-flapped. That's because they were... I thought it was because they were wearing flip-flops, but he's got diving ones on. Flip-flap down to the salty sea. It was cold and dark, but they laughed with glee. They think they've got it all worked out. Then the whale began to sing a song. That's her, said Hugh. We can't go wrong. They swam towards the tuneful sound. She's still awake, said Len, and frowned. The singing stopped. They took a peep. Said Hugh, I think she's gone to sleep. Up they climbed with their big brown sack onto the whale's enormous back, and snip, 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 they started snipping. This air, said Hugh, it's damp and dripping. What's more, said Len, it's awfully tough. Our scissors can't be sharp enough. Then help, cried Hugh, this rock is heaving. I think we'd better both be leaving. But Len replied, just one more snip. Then the whale's grey tail gave a great big flip. The thieves fell into the water, splosh, and Hugh said, golly, and Len said, gosh. Then, ouch, cried Hugh, and Len yelled, no, as the shark bit a flipper and the crab pinched a toe. They swam for their lives, and then they ran all the way back to their camper van. Phew, said Hugh, we've had a scare, but at least we've got the mermaid's hair. They opened up the sack, and then...
There's the...
Oh, good spot, good spot. And there she is, the crab's holding it there. It's full of seaweed, shouted Len. And tripped again, said the two bad men. You'd think they'd learn. You'd think they'd learn, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right, you're on again. Then the sea lion
Roared.
and the seagull,
Shrieked.
the mermaid sang. Sang. And the dolphin,
Squeaked.
the crab went,
Snap.
and the shark went.
Gnash.
The whale's grey tail made a mighty.
Splash.
The dogfish
Barked.
and the catfish.
Purred.
But the ladybird said never a word. Again, a nice, obvious one. They've got a big black cloud and lightning over their camper van, just as they deserve. So that was all. You're fully up to date with all the ladybird herds now. And we had a little discussion this morning about what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to have. We talked earlier in the week about having the crayons Christmas.
Yeah, we might
So we're going to
have
have the crayons Christmas. We're going to have another one out of rabbit and hedgehog. Don't know which one. We can do. We can perhaps just work our way through the book. So we'll have. Let's start with the birthday presents tomorrow, because we got a Christmas book. Let's have a birthday book, and a third book. Don't know. Any thoughts on what the third book could be?
I don't know. Could do a Sue Hendra one.
We could do. We got plenty of Sue Hendras to do. Haven't we could have one of the Barry.
I like Simon Sock.
Simon Sock. Yeah. Okay. That's the one where he's looking for a pair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Simon Sock it is then. Right. I've got to go over to Grandpa's. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Bit sunny but windy. It's not too not too cold outside, so you can go out for your constitutional walk, social distancing, and all that. But have a wonderful day. We will be back tomorrow. Be safe. Bye.